myrtles require little pruning. As a matter of fact, every few years, thinning out all the small shrubby branches in the middle of the canopy is about all that's needed, and then a slight topping to control the height. Crape myrtle is a beautiful tree without any pruning at all. Heading cuts, or topping the tree, really makes for an unsightly canopy. Very unnatural. Okay, let's talk about the essential tools for pruning your crape myrtle. Number one, eye protection. Number two, good pair of gloves. Nice pair of pruning shears. A good tree saw. I like this one because it's folding. A good pair of loppers for your larger cuts. And for your larger, more established trees, a nice tree pruner is a good idea. Here's a young tree form dynamite crape myrtle. Let's take a look at how simple this tree needs to be pruned to make it look great next year. So first, when pruning your crape myrtle, always start out low. Look to the lowest point to see what you want to remove and work your way up.
The trunk looks smooth and clean, but here is this old stump that needs to be removed.
Okay, first I'm going to remove some of this twiggier growth. All this small growth can come out. Okay, and we'll take our saw and cut this in at an angle. Okay, now we'll continue to take out some of these smaller limbs. Always leaving a little bit of a collar, just a small collar. Don't ever cut flush on the tree. Okay. Some cases on a crape myrtle, you can even just break them off. Okay. And any limbs that go inward like that should be removed as well. Okay. Or crossing limbs. Okay. There's not much you need to do on a crape myrtle. Really what we're trying to do is just expose the trunk, make that trunk look, make that beautiful trunk part of the character of the tree. In many cases on a crape myrtle, just you can take and just rub your hand down the tree and actually knock those little pesky laterals off like that. And then if you want, you can take and just cut back real simply the old flower head and remove it. Here's a nice close-up of what we just did. We cut the old little stump off, made a clean, nice angle. We cleaned up all of the little growth on the trunk. What we've really done is just exposed the beautiful bark inside the canopy and really left the entire top of the tree almost untouched other than just cutting back the flower heads. Okay, let's recap what we do when we're pruning a crape myrtle. Number one is, let's select the right size plant. There are so many varieties of crape myrtles now with so many different sizes that if you choose the right size plant for the location to begin with, it'll eliminate how much pruning you have to do in the long run. Definitely number two. First in pruning, start from the bottom and work your way up. Decide what needs to be done from the bottom up. Then look for dead, disease, crossing or rubbing limbs. Our ultimate goal is to take and open the tree up for sunlight and air circulation, allow plenty of air and sunlight in to cut down the incidence of disease. And last, you can cut off the bloom head right below where it's set that season. Or on some varieties, actually cutting it off at the end of the summertime when it starts to take and slow down its blossom is actually a way to take and get it to rebloom in the latter part of the summertime. Wonderful little addition to a lot of the new varieties. So plant a Crape Myrtle. They're really cool. They have a wonderful bloom. And actually, you get to prune them during the wintertime. I mean, what more could you want? Crape Myrtles.